Hello and welcome to my studio vlog. I have a old sketchbook from 2009 and I thought I could show you what my drawings are like in 2009, but also do a new drawing based on one of my old ones from a child. So as you can see, there's no facial shape here at all in that one there, but I was very much into like manga and anime, and I had a lot of like how to draw manga and like that kind of style, so the eyes are so blocky. So basically I've drawn a square. But yeah, you can see there's a big improvement. Oh my gosh. I love how this says rubbish drawing on. I mean, it's pretty rubbish, but oh dear, cursed. I still can't get over the eyes that I drew back then. That's crazy. I really like this one. So I think this is a character from Winx Club that I created called Risa. Wow. It's weird looking back at your old like drawings from a child, like, and how you've improved. So I was really into Tokyo Mew Mew and I loved Pokemon, so I decided to like combine the two. So obviously I have the Pikachu and Glaceon, and then I have a Vulpix, and then another one of my favourite childhood animes was Witch. So I drew maybe a character from Witch there. It's just a discarded torso there. Strawberry Cat, why not? Oh, and this is also when I first got my ever Copic markers. So there used to be an art store that sold them for super cheap. And I used to use my pocket money, and I would buy about, I think it was like 2 every time we visit this art store. So I built up quite a good collection. And these are some studies from the manga book that I had that I drew of dogs and cats. Oh gosh, these eyes, they're so terrifying. That actually is a drawing of my friend that I did. We were both drawing together, and I remember actually creating this drawing of her. And then I've got Blue from Wolf's Rain on the other side, and Kiba from Wolf's Rain, the anime. Had some random assorted fruits there. Don't know what goes through my mind. Some random lady in a forest, and then I drew my sibling and like all of our favourite like hobbies and foods and stuff. So you can see that, but I also did one for myself as well. Oh, this is really embarrassing, but yeah. And that's pretty much Tiger Mew Mew. I would really like to redraw all of my kind of like themed stuff. But I kind of already have decided I want to do a redraw of this one, as I have currently had 2 redraws of older artwork that I've done of fairies and like Winx Club inspired. And I was thinking about doing these Pokemon ones, but I think I'll stick with my theme at the moment. So yes, I have picked Risa, which is the fairy Winx girl. So I kind of just wanted to see what like improved with my style, and just kind of, I didn't stick with the same kind of weird awkward pose of the arm. Like, I don't even know what's going on with the arm there. So as I've been like practicing and learning how to draw a bit more fluider poses, and basically all I drew is kind of one body type as well, which kind of annoyed me because I now include a lot more diverse body types. But yeah, hopefully I can definitely say that I have improved from then. And just very nostalgic looking through old books and like remembering what I was into. Obviously I was very much into like Winx Club, Witch and Tokyo Mew Mew at the time. Those were my go-to things to watch. I used to watch them on repeat. And yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy just this part of the process of me drawing. I don't really want to ramble on too much because I can't do that a lot. I'm now starting the line art from the initial sketch, and I've kind of rubbed off a lot of the lines because sometimes it can smear around. As I am left-handed, I do tend to smear all of whatever pen or pencil or whatever I'm using. But yeah, I'm really enjoying drawing fairies at the moment. That's why I've kind of selected it. I have 2 other ones from even older drawings that I did. And it's crazy to think how back then those things that I'm into now I'm kind of clinging to now for nostalgia. And that was the fact that Winx Club has made like a really big comeback with the Netflix adaptation or live action kind of series, which I have watched, and I will say because I love the animated Winx Club so much, especially like the first 3 or 4 seasons, and they've kind of made it a lot more darker, which I guess they wanted to reach out to maybe an older audience, which they could have. I think everyone that watched Winx Club would have been a similar age to me, and I personally would have still really enjoyed watching one that was kind of like sparkly and like very pretty, like, I don't know, just like. Also, I'm very angry because they don't really have wings, and I just liked the aesthetic of old Winx Club, but when I heard it announced that they were going to be bringing out like a live action Netflix adaptation of it, I was actually really excited to see how they interpreted the kind of style from Winx and like the colours and the kind of the 90s 2000s crazy ass like fashion, but they kind of just modernized it too much, made it very dark, which isn't usually a bad thing. It's just from what its origins, it just was quite striking in a way, and some of the characters were taken out and replaced with other characters. But yeah, that's just kind of my view on it. I mean, I know a lot of people that haven't actually watched Winx Club, the series, and have watched the newest Netflix one, and they really enjoyed it. So I guess it's everyone's personal preference. I know a lot of people have been comparing it to Sabrina, and how like the animated Sabrina series was very similar to being kind of a bit more child friendly. I wouldn't say that, but more kind of sparkly, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. But then obviously they brought out the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I absolutely love, and it actually follows the comics more so than the animation, the old animation from the 90s. But I've just rambled on here now, but yeah, so I definitely would say if you're a fan of kind of magical, dark kind of genres, fantasy of course, then give Winx Club a watch on Netflix. But if you're just feeling for like an easy watch of like a nostalgia hit of like old TV programs, like old kids TV programs, I'd definitely say you could rewatch the old series. I kind of put it on in the background sometimes when I'm just doing something and I just don't want to have something that's too crazy. So I'm just going in with Copics. In my original sketch I actually used pencil, and I was contemplating whether I should use the same kind of or similar materials, but as it's kind of trying to showcase how I've improved, I don't actually use pencil anymore in my art, or if I do, I use it over the top of alcohol ink markers, which are the Copic ones I use. I do use a mixture of Copics, Winsor & Newton and Ohuhu, but my main favourite is the Copics just because of their blendability, and I like how you can layer them a lot better. because I found with the Winsor and Newton Copics, they tend to go a bit more fuzzier, and they go very blotchy when you try to layer over the top of them to get two tones or like ombre certain things or add shadows, which I think I'm going to keep this quite flat, fluid design, because again, I'm just having a bit of fun here drawing it, and I don't want it to be majorly perfect. I just want to see how my sketching and artwork has improved. And adding some like coloured lines to it just to add a bit more texture in the hair and the fabric. The kind of like petal skirt. I really love the petal skirt. It's really cool. I must say I need to improve on my wing art. It's very basic, but I think with a lot of artwork I could easily go back in a few years and redraw this again, and in hopes that I have improved again, because I'm improving and learning so much every time I do these. Like, I already would know that I would do certain things differently on this piece because I learnt from actually doing it, which is good. Also, I did struggle with this Copic. I shouldn't have used it to colour in the background because I knew it was already running out. And I usually use a cheaper alcohol marker to do this, but there was a specific colour that I wanted, so I think I was just swinging it around and trying to get as much of the ink out. But yeah, so here are the two other ones that I've done previously. I tried to keep in with the theme. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and you can really see the difference on how I've like improved. And yeah, so I got this figure, sorry, going straight into a different thing, but I got this figure from YY Kawaii recently that I pre-ordered. It's My Hero Academia Hawks figure, which I was super excited to come. It took me a little while to get all the pieces in properly because it came in parts, but this is the final figure, all built. I have mostly like fangirled over the fact I really like figures in like these action poses. And it just looks really cool. I'm a huge fan of Hawks from My Hero Academia. I do actually have a friend called Ella. She's obsessed with Hawks, and we both actually got our figures at the same time on the same day, so we were both kind of messaging each other and fangirling over it. But yeah, here's all my other figures that I have so far on my bookcase. I have Tamaki Dabi, and then my like Bishojos that I've collected. It has been super warm and sunny this week, and all of the daisies have sprung up on the grass, which made me really happy because I've seen lots of little bumblebees flying around. So I had this old cactus plant. Obviously it's still alive, but the pot's in this kind of terracotta pot that I originally bought it with, and I was just getting bored of it. So I just got some lilac paint and I just painted the pot. It is a matte lilac paint, so it will dry quite nice on this kind of pot, and that's kind of the style I was going for. As it kind of sits on my desk along the window ledge, I kind of look at it quite often, and as much as it's nice to see that colour, it's not really my aesthetic. And I've been seeing all these kind of really fancy pots that I've wanted to buy, but they're very expensive. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll just like repot it and put it in like a fancy planter. But at the moment the budget is, I just don't have enough money to buy these really expensive planters for my tiny little cactus. So painting it with some paint, which I already had, and like with the design, I didn't want to do anything really intricate. I didn't want to make kind of worry about making it look absolutely beautiful. I can always repaint over it if I don't like it, but I just wanted a simple kind of grid. So I just got a Posca marker and just started drawing lines. In hindsight, I should have maybe used a ruler or worked out like what size squares I was going with, obviously because it gets smaller at the bottom. I had to draw it in certain angles, which is a bit all over the place. But I kind of like the fact that it's not kind of clean, pristine, perfectly straight lines. It's just kind of me really badly trying to imitate a straight line. It kind of reminds me of Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas, is his like suit that he wears with the stripes, the pinstripes, and they're not beautifully perfectly straight stripes on it. They're all kind of a bit wibbly wobbly, and I really like that actually. It was just something for me to do. It's a good way of expressing creatively, if that even is a word. It was just too hot to think of anything. I was like, I can just draw lines. I don't have to think too much about this, which I probably should have because they're all really wonky, but from afar it looks okay. And it's definitely improved my kind of window view now because it's my favourite shade of lilac. And I'm happy how it turned out. I think it gives it personality that all of the lines are maybe a different thickness and different size. And I'm sure the cactus doesn't mind. And I'm just popping it back in now. And we'll see how it looks on my window ledge. I did spike myself many times trying to get this cactus in and back into the pot. But luckily I cut that out for you so you didn't have to see. My desk and window ledge is very chaotic at the moment. I do apologise, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. Just a quick little project. Paul there judging me as normal in my other little pot. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!